Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, welcome to Saturday. And on Saturday, what I used to do in the past was I called it Storyteller's Spotlight. And someone recommended, there's been a lot of great recommendations for artists to look at. So trust me, I keep all of that on deck, and just whatever, it's usually pretty spontaneous how I pick this stuff. But someone had recommended Tim Sale, and I hadn't looked at Tim's work in quite a long time, although funny enough, I did bring in a bunch of books from my storage, and I grabbed my collected edition of this, so it was definitely, he had been on my mind. And I always liked this series. It's one of the not few things that I read, but I actually have read this whole book, and it was really good. It was very, very fun to read, and it's a unique story, and Tim's art is great. It's maybe at face value it might not be something that you're used to seeing a lot of, but at the same time, when you read the story and you have him telling it, you can really go into the world, and it's quite nice, almost in a Tim Burton way. There's lots of like helicopters and planes flying over my house right now. It's really annoying. But what would a YouTube video be without that? Or my cats fighting. So anyway, but this cover is great. This is the cover for the collected edition. The cover for the collected edition I think is slightly different. There's been a few. Yeah, so let's get into the book, because there's a lot of, I opened quite a few pages, and it'll be really fun. And there is actually a Batman noir version of this, meaning that they actually did produce a full black and white version of it. But we're going to do the color. It's what I read, and I think the colors on this book were actually pretty cool, so it'll be fun. It's easy to maybe in some ways compare Tim's stuff at times, especially back in this era, to someone like Frank Miller, but he definitely had his own thing going on. In a weird way, if you know Tony Salmon's art, there's a little bit of that in here, and I don't know, what the pecking order would be in terms of who was doing it first, but Tony Salmon's actually kind of spots his black areas like this. But the forms are all here. I mean, he's indicating all the anatomy, and then he just chose a down plane to hit the shadows. So, it's not random, these shapes and stuff that he's putting on his stuff. I mean, there's always artistic liberties and style that you pop in. Like, these might have looked cooler black, so they're just black, so things like that will definitely go on, and that's part of the fun of being a comic book artist and a comic book creator. So this is a little splash page. Look at the inks on this, how great they are. It's really solid, it's very graphic, but yet there's a scratchiness and a detail to it that's quite nice, and it's a nice drawing. I mean, it totally fits into his style. It's got a kind of creepy, disturbing quality to it, and a lot of energy, these bent whiskers and stuff like that. It's all really, really good. It's like he doodles the drawing down, or the sketch, and then just finishes it, Look at this. This is really cool. It's what's nice about reading stories with art that's this simple is it really, you're able to move through it quickly. It sounds weird, but I mean, generally speaking, it's like, I believe in Gotham City. I mean, this sums it up. This is perfect. You could draw more for sure, but do you need to? Maybe not. That's each artist's own thing. But this is a powerful opening page to me. I mean, I'm in. I see this. I'm like, yeah, bring it on. Let's hear the story. What's going on? We've got a cocktail party. And some backgrounds, and I don't know if these are called Venetian blinds, but those are always very, very cool in any kind of noir type story, as you throw in these blinds. Eduardo Rizzo, Miller, of course, David Mazzucchelli, and I'm sure there's many more post that. But yeah, I mean, lots of different character types in here. You get some personality from them, and let's keep rolling. I'll talk about the layouts as we move along. And, Jeff Loeb actually is one of those writers that gives the artist a lot of room to play. I don't think, generally speaking, his pages are overly paneled out, which is nice, because the more, if you have a 9 to 13 panel page, you're going to be squeezing in a lot of drawings. And it's not to say that there won't be any of those, but I'm already kind of recalling Loeb's writing style based on the few pages that we've seen, and he likes them big, I think. You know, and Tim draws them, but I'm saying that generally speaking, the writer would ask for, you know, widescreen panel at the top, and then let's do a 3/4 of a page splash or 2/3 splash of the mob boss guy. This is nice. You can tell he's being interrogated. It's like the pressure's on. He's cornered, and it's like he's got a decision to make. It's nice symbolism there. Isms. This is nice too. Nice down shot. He keeps it simple. There's just enough accoutrements in the room where you know it is. I like the safe. I think that's a nice touch. I don't know what this is. I guess this is like a speaker for like a secretary or something to talk to him. It's funny. He totally looks like Don Corleone or whatever. This is cool. Look at the colors here. Beautiful. It's really, really nicely done. And I like how they respected the form of the door. They don't look at it as a flat thing. The light's hitting it, and it's dropping into the crevice, and then coming out and dropping back into the crevice of these inset panels. It's very cool. But again, this is just great storytelling. It's so simple, and it's so appealing to my eye. My eye. You know, again, your mileage may vary, but this works great, you know? It's all you need. It's tempting to put more. I understand. You could do these same layouts and just put a bazillion amounts of detail on everything. This chair could be all embroidered and have little, you know, like notches and all, I don't know, whatever they call, like on a grandfather clock, how they have the little dowels and stuff like that. I mean, you can make it really fancy. This is cool. And I mean, there's not super moody lighting on this page either. He's got a light source coming from above, but he doesn't really shadow the faces too much. There's a little bit of a cast shadow on this guy's chin, a little bit on his cheekbones, but it works well. His eyes have a little bit of a dark area, but you know, again, moving through as efficiently as possible. It's nice. Catwoman, and she's a pretty intense Catwoman in this story. Hello, Selena. Care to dance, Bruce? He's like, duh. Of course I would like to dance. Do you know the Batusi? Yes, Mama. What? Oh, I was like, that's weird reading it out of context. Thought he was watching them dance, and he was thinking to himself, yes, Mama, which is kind of creepy. This makes more sense. Johnny, come over here. Never trust anyone with this haircut. First rule of comic bookdom. This guy is a troublemaker. This is nice. It's an interesting drawing. It reminds me of like a hotel like downtown, you know, where they would throw parties. It's a little small, but it works. Meaning the like rooftop bars sometimes are bigger than this, but it's all good. It does the job. This could be a house. I wasn't paying attention. That's the rub with sometimes when I do these videos, is like obvious stuff I won't catch it because I'm just trying to like kind of assess each page real quickly, and my retention sometimes on as I move along isn't as good either. It's a cool page. I like these again, these blinds look really, really cool, and it makes it's a great effect. And he's still got that interesting shape with the like the curtains open. And I don't know what this is right here. If it's his chair, look, he has a huge back on the chair. It's a nice layout. It's like all falling away from him into blackness. You know, Harvey, if you had any sense at all, which you don't, you'd be at home with a fan on and a bottle of beer. Oh, they're beating him up. I didn't see what happened, so I was like trying to figure out, oh, there's thugs right here, and then they accost him, knock him out. I wanted to apologize too. The last video that I made, there was some noise in the background. My computer's doing it right now too. So I'm downloading something, but I was processing a video and I didn't realize that the fan was making so much noise, and so in the background you can kind of hear this depending on your speakers, like a whirling sound of the computer trying to cool itself down. But I didn't notice it when I was shooting it, so I won't process videos when I shoot them in the future. And then also I won't download either, since it's doing it with the download too. This is nice little drawing. His eyes are quite big, but it's kind of his style, and he doesn't put a lot of detail in them. He has kind of a few ways that he draws them, but it's weird, because I remember, you know, people will sometimes criticize pencilers, and they'll say, I haven't heard this in a long time though, this was kind of more of a maybe even 10 or 15 years ago thing, but they would go like, oh, that person draws, their faces are all the same, their guys all look the same, their girls all look the same. Look, I mean, the reality is when you're learning to draw and you're trying to learn to draw comics, it's a way to get your footing and to at least have something consistent in your work. You can always go beyond that later, but it's like better to have one good male face and one good female face than none. You know, that was something I kind of suffered from, is that I would be able to finish drawings and have things that looked pretty nice, but they never were consistent. You know, it would be like, it wasn't like completely removed. Costumes and stuff like that help, but you know what I mean? Like if I were to draw like someone like Voodoo's face or whoever it is, like I might draw it quite different from drawing to one drawing to the next, because I didn't have anything memorized. I was just able to sort of force my way through drawings based on, I don't know, like something in my head and my eye to see it. But you know, like I said, eventually what ended up happening is I knew that I would never get to the point, or I guess like the place that I wanted to be with my art without really starting over and kind of just starting from scratch. And anything good that I had that remained was fine, but I wasn't going to baby myself through it. But it was a long process. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it for someone as an approach, but you know, it was what I needed to do. I had too many bad habits, too many stubborn behaviors, and still I lack patience. That's the one thing that I really need to work on. I'm very patient when it comes to finishing other people's art, and even my own, like my black drawings. But yeah, I mean, it can be difficult having the patience to lay things out and to build up drawings, and if you're struggling with something, it's like I can work it out. It's just more, do I have the patience to do it? But you need the patience. That's the thing. You can't it's a very important part. It's great to have the ability to problem solve, but if you don't have the patience to do the problem solving, then you're not in a good spot. So it's something that I have to be very, very mindful of. But that's fine, as long as I'm aware of it, then I can deal with it. So this is cool. Look at that. Double page spread. Thank you, Jeff Loeb. You understand what we want as artists and as fans. He makes it look fun. This is big, you know, this is a very, very big drawing. I mean, I know obviously a double page spread is a big thing, but if you see a double page spread in person and you realize how big this drawing is, these characters are taking up a lot of real estate. I don't know I know, Kitty, they're big. You've seen them in person. I think most artists probably, I mean, it's a generalization. I don't think that all artists do it. Well, I know that they don't. But it's not a bad idea to sometimes draw this a little tiny bit smaller and then blow it up so that you get things in proportion. It's very, very difficult to lay out something like this on a 2-page spread and have everything proportionally sound. But people do it. If you learn that way, I mean, you can definitely do it. You know, if you draw it even, you know, just on like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper sideways, you probably would spot some drawing errors a little easier than when it's so big. And then also you can kind of delegate your detail a little better. When you're drawing on a big board like that, I mean, you could, and I'm not talking about detail that we like detail, but I'm talking about like you could get into minutia that could make the drawing look not as good. Where you know you're overthinking everything because it's such a big amount of room. This is a great page. I love it was interesting seeing the Steve Ditko stuff where they weren't turning the cameras as much, but you can see this shift where it's like, you know, it's not straight up and down. We've got this kind of cone-like perspective going on. It's this 3-point perspective. And then on this, he shifts the panel the other way. So it's like we've got this great rocking motion of like, it's like this, and then it moves this way. Whoops. And then this is nice too, where like underneath Batman, he throws this, whatever it is, smoke bomb. This is perfect. This is such a great page. This is such a great Batman drawing. It's so good. I don't even miss the rendering, you know, like feathering and stuff like that. This is really, really solid. This is a great looking hand. This is a great looking hand. This is cool. I like how he even handled the nose. I would have been tempted to try to draw the underplane of the nose a little bit. You know, I'm doing it with a mouse, so it's not going to look that good. But I would be more tempted to do something like that than this, because we're underneath him. But what he chose to do works good. So, but I would be more tempted to do something like that because we're underneath him. But this works good. What it is this is the underside of the bridge of the nose. Like there's a. I'm doing this with a mouse again, but your eyes sit in a socket like this, and so what he's indicating is this, and your nose would come out like this. So there's a down plane. I could grab my stylus, but I'm not going to do it. But anyway, it's a down plane, or yeah. Hold on, let me. You know what? Now I have to do it because it's going to annoy me that it looks like shit and it doesn't make sense. Let's do it in red. This is what I do in my lessons. You get a touch of a lesson. Oh, you're not going to let me rotate it? Fuck you. Brush. So, there's his forehead. And then this goes under. You know what I mean? Your eyebrows sit up here, but your eyes sit in a socket right here, and the bridge of your nose comes like this. And so what he showed is this. This is what the light is hitting. It's hitting the underplane of that, and then the nose comes out from here. So it works though. It's a you know, it does the job. So his choice, and it worked. All right. I'm gonna rotate. I want to get the tablet out of my way and just go back to the mouse. El mouse. So I have no idea what's going on here. Is it a foam party? What is it? Oh, I guess it's the smoke. It just looks funny like this. It's just like he's vanishing, but all of a sudden he's here. I don't get it. Yeah, that's a little weird. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to the last page as much, but yeah, it's a little. Storytelling's a little funky there. Oh, they finally broke the Venetian blinds. I'll be damned. Now I'm obsessed with the safe. I'm like, will we see the safe in this picture? I think this is the safe right here. Oh wow, look at that. Fun times in the city. This is cool. Some of this stuff is a little out of perspective. It's not a big deal, but like this is starting to bend a little bit, and then this looks a little funky. I'm not sure exactly what shape. Oh, maybe it's this. Could be a rectangle up there that's turned to its side. This is nice though. I like this water tower. Still, cool shot either way. Man, this is really cool. I like how he freehanded these lines. Do you see that they're not ruled? And it gives it just a little bit of a vibe. It's really, really nice touch. So the problem is you have people, you know, in Clip Studio and stuff like that, and they use the ruler tool, and it's great and all, but you just get these stiff lines. You know, they're pixel perfect is what I would say, but it's like there's not as much character when all of your lines are like that, you know. It looks very mechanical. So it's just something to keep an eye on, friends. Look at that. Blood or something. I guess maybe just the neon light hitting him. This is cool. Kind of Mignola-ish. Anything like this is always reminds me of Gotham by Gaslamp. This is nice. I like this a lot. It's just dynamic. He's one too that his cape is interesting because the Batman's cape clearly is like almost like an entity unto itself, because the shape of it will change. It will get bigger. It will get smaller. You know, there's no way that he's running around with a cape that big without it dragging all over the ground, and yet somehow it works. That's a fun thing. It's like don't be too logical with things in comics sometimes, because you can stretch reality quite a bit, and it's fun, you know. Batman's cape can be alive. I always look at it like this. Like, I think when Batman shows up on the scene, the villains immediately kind of start to hallucinate a little bit. Like, he's so horrific and they're so scared of him that he becomes this almost like ethereal apparition. So that's how I would kind of handle him, is like your fear almost takes over your imagination, and then we just see it from that point of view. The cape is, you know, gigantic, his ears, and, you know, it's not Bruce Wayne anymore. It's this whole other thing. But other people handle it way more realistic. You know, they want it to be a guy in a leather suit that just kicks people's asses, and that's the fun of all the different storytellers. But I think with that, I mean, that's where these are nice upshots. It's advantageous to be a writer yourself, and although I don't ram it down your throats as much the last, like, probably 6 months here, I used to talk about it all the time, but I would always encourage anyone that's an aspiring comic book artist: 1, pencil; 2, write. You wanna have the ability to do both. I think it's will just behoove you to be involved in it. Even if you never do it professionally, it's good for your mind, you know. It's a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna move through some of these pages a little bit faster so that we get to see the good ones. So, oh, that was kind of nice, actually. I like the that staircase. This is cool. Nice panel. It's got a little bit of a Rizzo feel. It was funny because Eduardo Rizzo, I don't think, well, he may have been working somewhere else, but I don't even think when Long Halloween was going on, he was even working on 100 Bullets. But I've never really had the impression that he was trying to do Tim Sale. But with this kind of boiled down style, you're gonna obviously get comparisons to Frank Miller, Mignola, Mazzucchelli, possibly Tim Sale, Eduardo Rizzo. There's a whole school of people that did it. This is nice. I actually like it with this gray, like a little flashback. It looks cool. This is nice. I like how he turned the angle on the gun. And then what is that? A baby bottle? Oh, do you put those on the end of a gun or something like that as like a silencer? I think I've heard that. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I think it was in reference to something else. Gordon's skin color here is crazy. Excuse me, I sneezed. My allergies were going away, and then the weather changed, and now they're kind of back and kind of not. It's annoying. I thought I had beat it for the summer. Then it happened. This is cool. I like this shot. He looks small though. He looks like he's about 5'6". Maybe he is. But yeah, he's got like Frazetta's people look very short. Some of them. They have more human proportions than like Superhero with the 10 heads high. This is nice. Yeah, I like these sequences. I don't remember this actually with the grayscale black and white. This is quite nice. That's the sun, I'm pretty sure. Oh man, that's a cool drawing. Damn. It's funny because I mentioned this in a recent video where I think it was because I had given a lot of lessons and some people were asking about assimilating their influences, and one of the artists is really into Mignola, but you know what I mean? Like, if you draw like Mignola, you're going to draw like Mignola. It's going to be pretty apparent. And I think that he liked Frazetta and some other things, real good influences. But I just basically said, I said, look, I go, don't sweat your influences that much. Don't put that in the forefront of your mind. Just draw the best stuff that you can and let the influences sort of naturally come out in the pieces. Hey, what is up, everyone? All right, sorry, the video cut out. That was crazy. My computer actually crashed, which is like never happens. So we'll go back to here. But what I was saying was, for people that are really obsessed with like a singular artist and like just can't get beyond wanting to copy their work, this would be my recommendation on that. Then just know that at some point you will need to switch it up and evolve from there. But what I was going to say is, like, people that are learning music and are into music and stuff like that. I mean, you sit and you learn songs from your favorite band and you really try to capture that feeling, the spirit, and the tone and the sound and the aggression or whatever it is from that. So I totally get it. And sometimes I think with art, at least from myself, I've been more protective of it for some reason, and it seems different, but it really isn't. So, just you don't want to be like the 25th version of someone. So learn what you can from the people, but know at some point you're going to need to break away from it and come up with your own combination of styles. And I can't imagine that that you don't have other artists that you're into that you could blend some stuff. If you love Jay Lee, this kind of looks like a Jay Lee type page, but you also like Frank Miller. Well, this might be the combination of those two things. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So try to use your imagination and some creativity along the way. I just never found it that satisfying to try to copy other people with art or music. As I remember as a kid writing a couple of songs and some lyrics, and I was just basically ripping off bands that I liked. And I did like 3 or 4 songs like that, and I was like, this sucks. I know where I got all this stuff from. This isn't very satisfying. I need to make this shit up on my own. And so from that point on, I at least attempted it. So, but everyone's different. That's my story. This is cool. I'm assuming this is money. Follow the money. Man, I would love to walk into a room with money like this. I just take this little corner right here. It's like 50K. That'd be good. I remember, I don't know why this comes to mind. I don't remember what it was, but like Jim Lee was talking about it before. He knew like how big of a duffel bag or something that you would put $1 million in. Didn't he talk about that in like a Twitch video one time? It's kind of a funny conversation. I think someone got paid in cash one time, like $100,000. So in your mind, you could figure, well, 10 times that. So how much space would that fill up? $100 bills. This is a great little panel too, or page. I like this panel actually a lot. It's cool because it's a dead-on shot here, but because the panel is so long, we actually are above the car, so it gives it some depth that just this area right here wouldn't have. You know what I mean? This really feels like a straight-on shot, but as we move further down, the top of the car really makes it fun. And this is nice too, and really, it's the twist of the panel, this angle that this stuff is at, makes it fun and interesting. He's really good at swinging stuff back and forth. It's like zoop, and then he brings us right over here, and then he does it again here. It's really nice. He uses great shapes. And then boom, the door opens, blows up. I mean, pumpkin. 1996. Holy cow, that was a long time ago. Oh, okay, this is another. I didn't realize they use these multiple times. We're going to move through some of these pages fast. There's some cool villains coming up in this. And that was what was fun about Tim Sale's great at giving you a rogues gallery of characters to play with. And he did that in Batman Hush, where like every issue you had more, like new villains popping up for Batman to deal with. And that is fun as a fan to every new issue get like some new perps. This is nice. I like the Gotham map. It's very, very cool. This is a great panel. He looks like the like yellow bastard a little bit, like his face. That's great. It's so funny. And Batman leaning in. Oh, this is great. He does great. Like these hands with the gloves are very, very cool. Okay, through this one fast. Keep them rolling quick. If it's a pedestrian page, we're gonna move through them quick. I like that. That's cool. And again, he shifts the camera. He's got one going this way, one going this way. And he brings it more like this, and then sweeps you around and right into the impending apprehension of this dude by Batman. You can see his cape. Again, that guy, he's facing the apparition now. Batman could be all crazy here. Todd McFarlane would do something pretty wild. This is great, though. Love this. This is a really nice panel. Solomon Grundy. Here he comes. Grundy. But yeah, you definitely want to check out this book. I think if you like what you see, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. And there's plenty of story left. It's 12 issues, I believe. So it's a nice long one. We're only looking at like 2 comics. So. His face. Bam. I like how he lights the glove. It's very stylish, but it looks cool. This is a good example of, like, he has enough stuff that's kind of accurate and looks proper that when he does some of the more unusual shapes, it doesn't stand out. So it's a nice blend of some authenticity with stylization. Give me a hug. Oh, man. What in the world is he doing? That looks painful. This is great. Great little sequence. Look at him crawling away. He's like, you hurt me. You hurt Solomon Grundy. He's like, God, get out of here. That's a great page. And his ears are much longer here than they were before. Or at least more stylish. That guy's ears are great. Alright. It's cool. That's cool. That's cool. What do we got? Oh, interesting. Can't not look at checkerboard. I like how loose he did it, actually. It looks good. Like, him filling all the blacks, like, so perfectly. That's interesting. This is great. I like how he drew Gordon's clothes. They got, like, a good, nice, loose quality to them. And the folds and stuff like that are real fun. This is nice. This is a great panel, too. Nice down shot. The colors are great. And then Batman up here, spying on them. Ooh, look at this. Oh, did he bring this for Solomon Grundy? What a nice guy. There you go, Solomon. You grab that turkey leg. Make sure to eat your vegetables. Here comes Batman. Oh, you know, I think Long Halloween, it covers Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but we're at Thanksgiving now, so... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, really, really nice piece. What a moment. Make a nice little poster. Needs like a superhero on it, but Yeah, it's cool. I like the color on there. It's interesting that just the cornucopia is colored. The turkey's not. The gravy bowl or whatever it is. The gun, the bullets aren't. Oh. Alright, so we got one more comic and then we're going to wrap this up. Oh, look at what we got here. The Joker. Oh, this is very Dr. Seussian, isn't it? That's funny. It's Seussian. Which actually kind of lends itself to Chuck Jones, because Chuck Jones did the Grinch animation with Dr. Seuss. And Chuck Jones is great. His stuff actually is very edgy. I like his Joker's hands. Oh man, it's awesome. What is that? A little TV? He's stealing all their stuff. Don't do that, Joker. That's not nice. It's a great little panel. Is that his shadow? Oh, that's crazy. His shadow casts a shadow of even his mouth. Oh man, that's cool. Nice big shot. This stuff is really, really good, man. I like it. I like it. I liked it then. I like it now. He did... there was another Batman run that he did. I don't know if it was Long Halloween 2 or it was called... Oh, this guy's so creepy. Yeah, there's two Batman things that he did. Then he did Daredevil Yellow. Man, that's so crazy. Let's see Batman's cape. Look at it. It's all wild. Let's go. His cape was annoyed. Oh man, that's cool. Someday I will draw someone being killed in spaghetti and meatballs to mark my words on it. I'll have to do it. Plus, it's a delicious meal. I'll make it for myself as reference. And hey, thank you also for all the nice comments and stuff that people have been giving me on my channel. I appreciate it. Channel grows real consistently now. It's great. I do really appreciate everyone tuning in and you know, there's a lot of competition out there with comic book channels just in general. I mean, there has been for a long time, but there's definitely more and more. But I appreciate that people enjoy what I do. I try to just be helpful, you know, and then look at cool stuff and, you know, just give my perspective on it. It's not perfect. It's just one opinion. It's just one observation. And then, like I mentioned in many videos too, that sometimes when I do look through the video a second time, I catch a lot of stuff that I messed up on. So they aren't without fault, but you know, I do the best that I can for a one take Jake. I'm the I was gonna say it was George Lucas of I always felt like the last 3 movies that he did, it felt a little that way. Like the actors had no idea. They were just acting in front of a green screen. And he'd be like, run and look like you're scared. And they're like, okay. And then they would do it once. And he'd be like, perfect. We'll fix it later. And the actors sort of, it made them look like they weren't acting well. Because the stuff, I don't think it didn't sync up that great at times. It's like, be scared. There's going to be a big monster. It's like some guy with like a broom on his head jumping around in front of you. This is nice. It kind of, you know, it's weird. This has a little bit of a Frazetta vibe. Like, it almost looks like Frank, too. It's funny. It's like Tim Sale's Frazetta. It looks like Tim Sale drawing Frazetta. I'm going with that. But that doesn't look like Ellie. And you know what Frazetta would do to the Joker? He would kick his ass. The Joker wouldn't stand a chance. Oh my god. Frazetta would tear him from limb to limb. Oh, that's funny. Frank. I wish I could have met Frazetta. Oh, man. I saw him in person once. I know, Kitty. You wanted to meet Frazetta too? He draws cats. He likes cats like I do. Yeah. But I saw him at Comic-Con. I've mentioned it before in other videos. But I was walking down an aisle, and he was signing at maybe Verotic? I don't even know. But there was a pretty big crowd around him. But I saw him, and I went like, it's that one guy. He's famous, like Stan Lee famous. But I wasn't really a huge Frazetta fan at that point. It was a few years later, maybe even 5 or 10 years later, that I actually really got into his stuff. My loss, for sure. This is nice. Again, I like the colors. I mean, it's purple and yellow and a little bit of blue and this kind of cranberry red. But, I mean, it works, man. It works fine. I don't know, like, what appealed, like, would it have mass appeal? It's hard to say. This is what I find with comics. I've mentioned this to artists before. You have to understand that a lot of the people that read comic books do not care about the art. They'll compliment the art, but they don't know your name. They're not going to take the time to learn your name. It's a very, very weird thing, but I watch comic book reviews on YouTube occasionally, and more likely than not, most of the time they will never ever say your name. And they don't do it intentionally, but they just look at it as the writer wrote the story, and then everyone else just sort of like helped the writer get their story out. So it's just something you need to consider. So as artists, of course we know who the artists are. The average fan, I saw a video game review. I mentioned it, another thing. It was a Silent Hill thing, and there was some sort of box set that they had released, and it came with a comic book. And the guy was like, oh man, the comic was so good, the art was so awesome. And he's like, and it was written by so and so, and that was it. You know, the art looked awesome, but it's like, as far as they're concerned, it might as well have been an animation studio, and 20 guys could have drawn it, or girls, or 150. They just know that the art looks good. They're not going to bother to find out who you are. So this is why I tell you guys, write and draw, and then you get full credit. You get full credit for both. So they won't confuse that, I assure you. This is nice. He liked this page so much he signed it. That was always what I would think in my mind when an artist would sign a page inside the book, because they were very proud of it. So I guess it's one more comic. We'll go through this one. This is cool. Batman and Joker are going to hook up. Not that way. I just mean they're going to meet face to face. That is really cool. When he draws his Joker, he goes into like almost like a Dr. Seuss mode. It's funny. I don't see it as much as other stuff. The inks are great on this too. I love how hyper thin he gets on the lines, and they're almost just like look like pen lines. And then other times he's got this kind of more craggly brush look on it. It's great. Really, really good. And this is nice line weight that he has on this. It's attractive. It gets thicker here. For inkers that I've done reviews or even lessons for, pay attention to this, because I talk about this. This is what an attractive thick line looks like, and the fact that he even pulled it a little bit thicker here is a really nice touch, but it's well done and still organic looking, you know. So, yep. Sale's got a really good mastery of like line. This is cool. He kept this simple, you know. You could make this a very, very complex drawing. A biplane with the wheels and all that stuff. It could be nuts. But this sells it. I know exactly what's going on. I love his pants. This is cool. It almost looks like she's got a cigarette in her mouth. Or maybe... Oh, yeah. She does. They must have been in the waiting room. Oh, this is cool. Look at Batman. He's ready to leap. Leap, Batman, leap. He's going to do it. Shoot it. This is going to be a good fight. Let's see what goes on here. I'm excited. Oh, come on. Really? We cut to another page? That's a cliffhanger right there. This is nice, too. Love this shot. Beautiful exterior. We've got the snow. Suggestions of the city, but it's not overblown. the gargoyle, very convenient for Batman to show up and land on it possibly. And then this dude like at his desk working, and the warm quality of the lighting in here contrasting with these cooler colors looks really good. This is nice too, really beautiful. Colors add a lot to this. That's why I wanted to go with the colors. And again, they're remarkably simple, but well chosen. But yeah, I wanted to get a video up for everyone today, so it was important for me to do this. I almost did it yesterday, but I was feeling kind of spread too thin. It's hard to explain, but I'm doing tons of reviews and lessons, working, and then trying to maintain YouTube and my own sanity within it all. This is great. I've been playing a little bit of Lego World. I don't know if you guys have heard of that game, but there's Ice Cream Land in it that sort of has a vibe like this. Also, another game I checked out was Adventure Time on PS4. That game is pretty cool. And that also has a candy cane land or something like that. Cake land, something like that. This is so funny. Again, this is a huge, huge drawing. Man. Okay. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going for a walk, yo. I gotta get my exercise, and then I gotta come back and work it out. Oh, and you know, I had mentioned that I'm gonna be a better art representative online and post more art. But for the next couple of days, I am gonna share some of the inks that I've been doing on Ryan Benjamin for Nightwing and Batman. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'll put a link for my Instagram, but check it out, because I'm gonna go back on Instagram and I'll be posting daily. It's time. I took a break for, I don't even know, a few months. It was pre-COVID, but so it's been longer than a few months. But yeah, I rarely post on Instagram anymore, but I'm gonna get back on it. She's like, why did you leave, Rich? I just was like, I needed a break. That's why, lady. You don't need to ask me questions. Jeez. It's time. And then probably by the end of next week, I'll just switch it over to penciling. But I figured I wanted to get it going and not wait too long. And I've got some really nice stuff that Ryan and I have done that I can share. So these panels with the black and white and the color are very, very cool. I like them. They're always like little cliffhanger sort of dun 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 shots. This is great. Really nice sense of scale. It's pretty cool too, because this definitely looks like Batman or something, right? Like the eye in this could be like Batman's sort of blood in the water. It's pretty nice symbolism. This is cool too. Look at the colors on this. It's like the Simpsons house. Oh, let's see if she needs any help with the kitchen. Yeah, this is some crazy colors. Clink! I always like to see what's in people's fridges, but he doesn't have sriracha. I judge on what salsas you have, what spicy foods. You better have hot sauce in your door. Or, well, maybe some salsas don't need to be refrigerated. Here we go. We finally got our fight on the biplane. This is very cool. I love these thick kind of brushy lines that he did here. Look very nice. And look, it's got the little smiley face on the front of it. That's a nice touch. Uh-oh. You don't cut Batman's cape, yo. That's going to be problematic. He's going to be mad. Don't ever cut my cape. Oh, man. More of the cape is going. Batman, what are you going to do, buddy? Look at that. He ruined his cape. Alright. What do we got? This is interesting. I haven't seen a lot of this sort of very soft, like airbrushy look, or whatever it is that they used on here. It's funny. It's a little different look. Most of the lines to me have been harder cuts, but maybe I'm mistaken. But yeah, that feels a little more soft edge. This is too. This could be a different colorist. It's possible that maybe someone stepped in and colored a few of the pages. Still looks cool. Probably not, though. It's probably just I didn't notice it before. It's bong, bong, bong. All right, last page. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, well, I hope that that was fun. I thought that was pretty interesting. And again, this is one of those situations too where if you read this story with this art, it will be better and better. And there's so much good stuff left. There's probably another 9 comic books worth of stuff in here. So it's a very, very fun read. So you got a good taste of it. Tim Sale's awesome. Jeff Loeb is a great writer. So, yeah, check out Long Halloween and enjoy it. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to do a super fun Sunday tomorrow, but I'll be back Monday or Tuesday with a video. So, either way, I'll be back soon. And check me out on Instagram and hit the notification bell if you haven't yet here. That'll definitely always let you know when I upload a video. All right, bye.